Here we go!
You're listening to the Video Game Show on URN.
Hello and welcome to the Video Game Show. I am your today's host, Henry, and it's been quite the hiatus, guys. It's been 2 weeks since I was last on the show.
We missed you, man.
3 weeks. I've missed you guys. I've really missed you guys. So it's great to be back. But today I'm joined by.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Dylan. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you, even. That's how long it's been, Henry.
I know it's been a while, hasn't it?
I forget who he was.
I better recognise Dylan.
Man.
And how are you, Mark?
I'm doing okay. I'm over here with my headphones on. I feel like a proper DJ.
We're proper pro today.
I'll start remixing in a bit. It'll be great.
And we've also joined by, obviously, the pleasurable Jack Newman.
Thank you very much for having me
Don't know
on.
why I said pleasurable, but
Yeah, we've missed you here. It's been me, Mark and Dylan for the last couple of weeks. So yeah, we're glad to have you back.
We're back.
We also had Dom on last week.
We had our
you did,
Pokemon correspondent in the studio.
good old Dom. No, the Dream Team is back. Right, today we've got a big show coming up. We're going to do a bit of news. We're going to talk about the Game Awards, which was very recently, and there is loads to talk about that, so we'll hash that out to no end. And then we'll do some console wars, do a bit of Hall of Game, and then we'll round off with chatting about what we've been playing. But to start off with, we're going to spend a couple of minutes talking about news. So, first up, there's a new Titanfall 2 update out, and apparently, Dylan likes Titanfall. I mean, have you played it?
I've given it a bit of a go. I mean,
What's this Titanfall thing, man? I've
barely
never heard of
really
it.
about it. I don't really know what's going on with it. But yeah, there's a DLC out. Maybe.
Oh yeah, what's that? Yeah.
Anyway, so it's I think we mentioned it before. The Titanfall 2, they've made a big change for this, and one of the changes for this new game was they wanted to keep DLC free because it really split the player base before, and so it's not as big as the old DLC was. So you got one map with this new one, which was actually just a map from Titanfall 1. But it's pretty good. It's one of the favourite maps.
Like
in
a
your
map
city.
at a time when they're free.
When they're free,
is-
brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, it's not too bad.
You
Who
also
cares?
get a new weapon, which again from kind of from Titanfall 1. It's an elite version of a pistol in game, and then there's a few upgrades to each Titan. There's like a different ability they can have that we didn't have before. Just sort of small stuff like that. But it's kind of nice to see that because it's free. And it came out so quickly as well. It's
like
been
the
out
game's
for a
been out
month.
for like a month, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing, right?
So
Exactly.
even if just for like another 6 months, they give you some more stuff.
Yeah.
That's a really hefty chunk of content
Yeah,
for free.
for real,
So
that's sound.
that's wicked.
They also introduced this thing. So they've got an in-game store now, and it was worrying a few people. But what it is it's obviously only things like skins, and there's no RNG or anything or loot boxes, which obviously.
Oh really?
is
So
a
it's
lot.
not doing like. So it's still got burn cards though, right? But
No,
that's-
burn cards don't exist.
Oh, really?
They kind of do. You get boosts, which are slightly different to burn cards.
Okay,
but you
'cause
can't buy any of this stuff anymore.
Because the first one had like almost like a loot boxy style
Yeah,
system to
and
it,
you
where
could get those.
you'd get cards, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but you don't get that at all anymore. So the store is purely you can get like 10 skins for £4 or something. You can get sort of new skins and assassinations for your Titans. Really, all completely aesthetic stuff, and you only get what you want. You're never buying just some random thing.
Cool.
And they're doing pretty
Oh,
good.
nice one. Yeah,
I'm liking what Respawn are doing with the game.
good stuff. That's
Those
really,
guys are good guys.
Yeah.
Good pedigree, talented people. They make good games.
we like them.
I'm on board.
So also, there's been a bit of Pokemon Sun and Moon chat going on. Jack, you've got a bit of a
Yeah, so it's been out for a couple of weeks now, and from what I understand from what I was reading, is they're going to be doing something called global events, where all players from all around the world can get involved. And the first event that they've got on at the moment runs until December the 13th, and the challenge for everyone who's playing it worldwide is for them to catch 100 million Pokemon cumulatively. So between all of the players around the world, their goal by December the 13th is to have caught 100 million Pokemon altogether. Now that may sound like quite
Is
a
that
large
since
number.
the challenge started, or just in total?
Just by December the 13th.
Okay,
I
cool.
think
Right,
it is.
okay.
It might be during that time frame. I think it started on maybe.
So do we know how? Like, is there a place we can go to see how many they've caught already?
yeah,
or,
it's like a timer or something. Clock
I'm
thing on
not
there.
too sure. I mean, I
Okay.
imagine that would be something that they'd probably set
Yeah,
up in the next couple of
probably.
days if they want to. But
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it sounds like a large number, but in the first 2 weeks of sales, they sold 3.7 million copies worldwide. So when you think about it, really, it's only about 30 Pokemon each, and you hit your 100 million target. So if everyone gets involved, I'm not saying that everyone will get involved.
That would involve probably like the
Yeah.
80% of people who stop playing that game and
Yeah,
start playing
I was
that
gonna
game
say.
again. which
Yeah,
would
this is
probably
it. And
be
I
a
mean,
problem.
to be fair, like I don't know about you guys, but when I play Pokemon, I normally just catch 7 or 8 Pokemon, and you keep that squad with you for the entire time. I'm not really one to collect the entirety of the Pokédex, so I'm
the entire point of the game,
zookeeper.
man.
yeah, I know it is, but when you play Pokemon,
Yeah.
you build up such a relationship
Yeah.
with your Pokemon.
You've got to catch them all.
Alright,
You gotta have a fat
do
squad.
have
Got to be
catch
done.
them.
You gotta have a grip. What happens if? Yeah, mate, you gotta have a good
So-
squad. Gotta have a good squad.
If they do manage to complete this ginormous feat, then what they do is they get everyone who's participated in it gets 1,000 festival coins, which I'm not too sure what they are. I think it's something in game. There's like a festival.
We need to get our Pokemon
There's
correspondent
like markets
back.
and stuff,
There's,
right?
there's a
Yeah, we
festival
do. We need Dom
plaza
back.
towards the back end of the game, I believe.
I'm
and
imagining that you could buy like coconuts and a grass game. What you could do with that, like.
I'm not too sure, but
That'd be adorable. Let's do that. That's great.
if they manage to complete it, then everyone gets 1,000 festival coins, and if they don't manage to complete it, you still get 100 festival coins, which is
Just
Which is
for
good.
owning the game
just
at that point.
for participating.
Just for
really.
turning the
I like
game
that.
on before December the 13th.
Yeah, essentially.
Brilliant.
if
Pretty
you
good.
turn on the global link, go online, catch
Cool.
Pokemon, then yeah, you
Cool.
Good stuff.
Get a
Nice
reward.
one. So,
That
yeah,
game
check
seems
it out.
awesome, man.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I still haven't got it. I'm sort of restraining myself to get it because I'm a massive Pokemon fan.
Yeah,
Hope
yeah.
someone gets it for you
But-
for Christmas, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Santa will give me that.
Yeah,
for
no,
Christmas.
definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, that game seems really cool.
Does
After
it?
everything Dom was saying about it last week, that game
It made me want to
sounds
buy a 2DS.
really
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, like you then spent a couple of days looking into getting 2DSs, didn't you?
You
Right?
can get really cool looking ones. You
Yeah.
can get like the sort of old school Game Boy Advance transparent type ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
And
that.
they look really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it like 100 quid all told for like that 2DS and the game?
It was 170 quid for like Pokemon Sun or Moon and a nice console. And the nice 2DS.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
the
quite
nice 2DS.
expensive.
Oh,
If
I
you
thought,
got-
I thought the basic 2DS was like £90.
You could get the 2DS on its own for like 70 quid, but you can't
Oh.
get the transparent one unless it's with
Oh,
a game.
you want the fancy one?
Well,
No, I respect
the trigger
that.
figure is itching, I think, on that one.
it's calling me in.
Yeah, it would be really
Yeah, so
cool.
Pokemon obviously out and still challenge going on, so definitely want to check out. Other news: Final Fantasy came out this week.
Yeah.
That's pretty big news. That game's been 10 years in the making.
It's been pretty well received, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
I mean, from what I've seen of it, and my brother's been playing it, and he says it's just probably one of the best games that he's ever played. It
Yeah,
looks
oh,
stunning.
It looks
and
really cool.
Yeah,
No, it does
just
look
looks,
super cool.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of something that you'd expect from what they've been working on for 10 years. I mean, you know, they could have been working on it for 10 years, and it could have been a complete failure, and it couldn't have done what it's done so far. And I mean, it's only been out for a couple of days, so it looks incredible. And
Yeah, it does look really good.
10 years in the making, you wouldn't
Oh,
expect
amazing.
anything
I mean,
less.
my flatmate, 2 of them got it on day one, so his box kept coming through the door, and they kept playing in our living room. So I've been watching a lot of gameplay from it, and it's absolutely beautiful.
What are they playing on?
PS4.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
yeah. Sorry, yeah. Of course, there are other consoles on it.
Yeah.
But no, they've just been playing it, and it looks stunning. The gameplay looks really cool. I'm not a big turn-based combat fan, and the new one's really fluid.
Yeah, it's more
and
real-time,
It's just
isn't it?
stunning. Like, there's
Yeah,
a lot of love
they-
that's gone into it.
Those games haven't been like pure turn-based in a really long time.
No,
they've
that's
really
true.
changed
Yeah.
up again.
Yeah,
for this
no,
one, haven't
definitely.
they, from what
Yeah,
I've seen.
because even back in like the 90s with like Final Fantasy 6 and 7 and
Yeah.
stuff, they started doing the active time battle system and they started mixing it up, and they're just getting crazier and crazier. with
Yeah.
it. Like I know 12 had a really insane combat system that like they've never done again since. So like yeah,
But it
it's-
looks like in this
it's
one you
cool.
can properly run around attacking.
Yeah,
things,
you
can't
can. That's
Yeah.
proper open world.
Which
you
is-
know.
Yeah, that was a
really
bit.
different.
I think that was how they did it in 13.3. Like 13.3
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
a straight up like hack
Mhm.
and slasher. I think.
No, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
like instant. So like it was like random encounters, and then you were locked into an area. But then it
Yeah.
was hack. Yeah,
Mm.
those games are cool, and it's
Yeah.
cool that they're making them different each time as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
And this
hopefully
one's
that-
completely standalone as well. Isn't it? I know they often are
yeah,
sort of separated, but this one is.
yeah, it's connected slightly, but like it basically is standalone.
Because it's part of the Nova Fortuna Crystallis
Yeah, exactly,
series
yeah.
or whatever the hell
Yeah.
it is. The thing that was meant to be 13 and 14
Yeah.
and 13 verses,
Yeah.
which then became 15.
Nah. So hopefully, like on another show, we will have actually played the game, or one of us will have done. I don't know if anyone's a huge fan, but and we'll definitely have some
I mean,
proper review.
2 of your
Yeah.
housemates have got it.
That's true.
You've
Yeah.
got the perfect chance.
Yeah, I definitely
you
should
should play
get
a
playing
little bit
myself. But before we go to the song, we will just quickly talk about 2 new things came out very recently. There's a new Death Stranding trailer.
Which we've actually got a question about.
Go on.
So we've got a question here that says, what do you think of the Death Stranding trailer? Or more generally, the direction Hideo Kojima seems to be taking?
Now,
Tom.
I know that you, Mark, and Dylan were having a sort of, not, I wouldn't say heated debate, but you guys were having a very, very in-depth discussion in our little Facebook chat that we had going yesterday.
Yeah, I have some strong feelings about Hideo Kojima
Yeah.
and Death Stranding and Metal Gear Solid and some other things, as is recorded on this very radio show. There's a record of me talking very passionately about Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the Death Stranding trailer.
It looks really weird, doesn't it?
It is very weird. It's like
I don't know what to make of it. I mean,
But I don't think that's the problem you have, isn't it? It's not that it's weird.
I think it looks really cool, and I love Kojima, and he's got weirder than this before, and it worked out really, really well.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not worried it's going to be too weird or anything. I think it's really cool. I like where it's going. But I hate that this game was announced 6 months ago when it didn't even have an engine.
Yeah.
It's 6
That's the
months.
thing,
It's
though,
6
like-
months later now, where they've only just got an engine. There's barely a game there.
We've got 2 trailers.
Yeah.
He's
that's it.
hyping it up even more. It's getting more and more insane, and we don't know what this game is going to be.
Yeah.
Apart from he said at some point, I think it's going to be a video game, which is
Nice.
good of him.
Some places are saying it's an open world action adventure game.
That's what
From what
I
I've
had
seen.
heard.
Yeah, like that would-
whispers of
Again,
that.
that's very
That
broad.
would be the logical extension of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Like to see
Yeah.
what he's been trying to do with Metal Gear for so long, since 4 and then Peace Walker into 5. It would make sense for him to make a kind of open, especially as well because that was sort of his vision for Silent Hills too. Like he wants an
Sure.
open world you can explore, but I really
There's not enough about it.
I'm
is there?
No,
just
there's not a lot.
I can't get on board with the trailer because there's even though okay, so it's rendered in engine and on a PlayStation, all this other stuff, and that's super cool, and I'm super hyped for it. It looks wicked, but
Yeah.
I want to know what that game is before
Yeah,
I
I
actually
agree.
give more of myself to it.
Because
Yeah,
at first
definitely.
I was saying I was saying how I thought it looked cool, but then you pointed out to me in this chat we had. But it's like I hadn't thought at all. But he only really has had a chance to work on this for a year at most.
unless
And it's
he
an
was,
open.
unless he was just working at it whilst he was
Yeah,
still
maybe, but
no,
that's-
you're right. Like it hasn't
Yeah,
been long.
like-
There's no way that there's enough of a game to be really giving out trailers at this point. When an open world action adventure game, as it were, is going to take. I mean,
huge
some of them
amount
take
of
like 5 to 10 years, like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
5 to 10 years to make, and he's already got 2 trailers out for it.
So
Yeah,
if we had
and-
to, if we had to guess, I mean, it's very early days, but if you thought this game's going to come out, when do you think it might?
Well, I said I think it's going to be 2019 because
I
you
was
said
about to say
Yeah, I was going to say like
My-
late 2018.
My
would probably
guess
be the
was holiday
earliest.
2018.
Yeah.
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 Well, because I
I'll be
figured next E3 they'll give a story trailer.
Yeah.
E3 after would be a gameplay kind of
Gameplay.
thing,
And
and
then
then
that
it would
Christmas.
be within the year
Yeah, I
after
think that's
that.
fair actually.
Yeah.
So either Christmas or soon
Yeah.
following.
Yeah,
it.
I think that's reasonable.
But then again, it could be even longer.
Yeah,
really.
but I
Could
just,
be.
I mean, is the reason I'm saying like 2018 is because I don't want to have to wait.
yeah.
Like I want to see what that game is.
Make it come true.
But also, I mean, there's part of me that thinks that maybe Sony are going to want a faster return on their investment because buying Kojima wasn't cheap, especially because when Kojima left Konami, he didn't take like the rest of his team with him, and yet those guys have all come over. So I imagine Sony had to do some stuff there to try and make Konami not make it very, very difficult for them to take over like Yoji Shinkawa and like all those people, like Kojima's art
definitely.
team and stuff. So I don't know. I want to see what that game is, but I really hate that we're going to have to see more and more cryptic trailers every 6 months for like the next 2 years
But I think
before we even know what it is.
after seeing what sort of Konami did with Kojima, in that there's a lot of speculation that Metal Gear Solid got a big chunk cut out of it.
Yeah, I mean it
Because
did.
they were pushed
I've
for
got the
time.
bonus DVD that shows the level that they cut out.
Well, because that was because he was pushed for time, right? And a lot of people were annoyed. I feel like Sony buying Kojima off them, buying as it were, not that you can buy a person, but you know what I mean.
Do you reckon it'll be more of like
They're gonna sort of be like, do what you want.
Let him do what he wants to
I
do
actually
and
agree
show
with you. I
off.
think Sony have such a good exclusive lineup that actually there's no need to get Death Stranding out anytime soon.
Yeah,
you know,
they can
let's
wait.
just let Hideo go and do his stuff like. So I think actually maybe they're just letting him tread water.
Which would be nice.
I want to see what that game is, man.
It would be
Yeah,
annoying to
real
not
bad.
know,
Definitely.
but it would also mean he's got time to just make what he
Yeah,
wants.
so like if it turns out that it doesn't come out till 2020, but it's
Amazing.
incredible and it's everything that Metal Gear Solid 5 should have been for the bits that Metal Gear Solid 5 fell short,
Yeah.
but even stranger and newer and
Yeah,
weirder,
definitely.
then I'm on board.
If it
But
just turns out it's what No Man's Sky
I
was
just-
meant to be.
I just yeah,
oh,
mate,
just
Frog
don't-
Fractions
don't
2,
even-
man. I told you,
don't
Frog Fractions 2. Yeah, I want to see what that game is.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to go to a song now. This is a very short song. Now, each week we have been doing songs from games that we like. And this week, Mark suggested Castlevania Rondo of Blood.
Yeah, Castlevania Rondo of Blood is the I'm going to call it 5th Castlevania game. I'm going to say came out on the TurboGrafx 16. It was I don't think it was ever even released in English for a very long time. I think the English version you get of it now is actually a German version that just plays in PAL territories. But it's a cool game. It's a Castlevania game. It's the last one of the not like Metroidvania style one. So it's the one they did before Symphony of the Night and everything became more of an RPG. This one's still like an action platformer, but it's the reason I picked it is because it's got a lot of the classic tunes from the NES Castlevania, which is one of my personal favourite games, but instead of being 8-bit tunes, they are full orchestral versions and they sound pretty rad.
Yeah, so this one is the introduction music. This is a very short song, so we'll be back with you very, very shortly.
We're back, and that was the soundtrack to Castlevania. What's the title
Rondo
again?
of Blood,
Rondo
also
of
known as Castlevania Dracula X Rondo of Blood. That was the Japanese title.
Epic stuff. Thank you for that. Now, we are going to talk about the big news. Now, recently, we had the Game Awards. This is a massive deal in LA. And basically, this is where we go for our yearly roundup of all the best games coming out. And we are going to dissect it with some serious objectivity on the show. So, yeah. Look forward to that, guys.
Would you say subjectivity or objectivity?
Ooh.
Because I'm going to be incredibly subjective.
Yeah, me too. It's Titanfall everything.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, apparently, didn't like Titanfall, didn't they?
Best RPG, Titanfall.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard.
Right, so we're going to start off with the big one. It's the we're talking about game.
Does that feel a bit like cheating? Should we go like
Actually,
in
yeah,
reverse
actually,
order?
as I said
Yeah,
that, I was
give
like,
a big
oh no, I think
one.
we're going to the top there.
let's do
All right,
that.
we're going to start with how about best performance? Okay, so in this we've got Mafia 3, Firewatch, Uncharted. Has anyone played the new Uncharted?
I haven't. I really, really want to. I've heard it's super awesome. I might be trying to get it for Christmas.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I definitely want to play it. Oh well, I'm basically 3 guesses. The winner was Nolan North. You know, no surprise.
Yeah, it's Nolan North he's pretty great.
He's the pinnacle of video game acting, along with what's his face, what's his chops. Forgot
Troy
his name.
Baker.
Troy Baker. That's the one.
I knew
I knew it was
Kanji
a T.
Tatsumi.
I know. I disgraced myself really.
Kanji.
Right, okay, I'm going to go for best action game. So up for the nominees, we've got Battlefield 1, Doom, Gears of War 4, Overwatch, Titanfall 2. Who do you reckon won, guys? Although
I mean,
already
I can see who won. Jack's got it up
Put it
on
on
the
screen.
I've got it up on the screen.
But
We should discuss what we think would be
I'm
the best.
gonna guess Doom.
I think you would have said that anyway.
Come
even if
on.
you
Yeah,
hadn't
it's
seen it.
because Doom's the best game on that list. Just saying.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, I mean, from what I've seen of Doom, it is a
Doom's
pretty
so
awesome
good.
action game.
Like,
It looks insane.
You've played some Doom, haven't you, Jack?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
It's absolutely insane. Like,
incredible video game.
yeah.
I've never
remember
played
playing,
anything like it.
Just the old Dooms as well. Just watching videos of that, and it's not quite that. Obviously, it's released in the next gen graphics and whatever, and it looks stunning.
Yeah,
And from what I've
listeners
played, it's
should
absolutely amazing. Yeah.
listeners should go on to Impact, our student magazine website, and I've got a review of Doom on there
Oh, nice one.
that I think is pretty succinct and also glowing. I'm very positive about
I
that
just
video
want to
game.
point out though that Doom, while it is an incredible game and the single player is what I've heard is the best single player that's come out this year, the multiplayer is trash. And
Oh
Titanfall,
yeah, that multiplayer is really
Titanfall
bad.
2
Is
has
it-
a good single player and a good multiplayer.
Yeah, that multiplayer is really,
So-
really terrible.
Exactly.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah, it's
Because I saw it and I
awful.
was like, that's what made me want to get it, and then I heard it was terrible. And I
No,
was like,
it's
oh,
so
man.
bad. If you go on to Impact Magazine, our student-run website, there's also a review of the multiplayer beta on there where I say some very, very mean things about Doom.
Yeah.
Oh.
I quite enjoyed it when I played, but I never played the original.
Yeah,
Sort of,
yeah,
Yeah, I
era
don't
of
have a
shooting.
reference point.
And it wasn't anything special. It was just a shooter. So
Sure.
I can
but
understand
that
why.
single player is so good. Oh my gosh!
Is
it's
it
incredible?
is it like, obviously I don't know. Is it? I mean, I assume it's not the story. It's just the fact that it's really fun. Is that
Yeah,
what
like,
makes it?
it-
Or-
very,
I mean,
very
but-
fast paced.
The story is, because of how not the story is, it is also kind of, because the story is just, there are demons, you need to deal with that problem. Like,
That's essentially what it is. Yeah.
the first
Nice.
thing you see is like you get it's crazy, man. That game is nuts.
No,
Like,
it looks
just,
crazy.
You need to play that. Like,
No,
there
I-
are things about that game that imply some really strange things about the lore of Doom, if you're into that, and
Yeah.
there's a big monitor at the very beginning that's got an alert message on it that says demonic invasion, like, in progress. And so
Pretty
then you
cool.
punch the monitor and go and kill demon. It's brilliant. Like, play Doom. Play Doom is incredible.
Henry, you've played Battlefield 1, right? So what do you think that maybe deserved?
I was saying earlier, actually, Battlefield 1 is only one. Actually, in fact, I haven't seen anything on here that it has one. I'm surprised it didn't get nominated and win something because I think because it's doing World War One, that's I'd
It's
say
really
that's
different.
quite brave territory for video
Yeah.
games, and so respectfully and so successfully do that. I really thought that might have a chance actually because although obviously Doom is cracking games, you said it looks well designed, it's incredible art style.
I think another thing about Doom that I think might actually put it above all of these is like new Battlefield game is going to be a Battlefield game, makes it it works well. Like Gears of War 4, people saw that, they sort of knew it was going to be Gears of War. Same with Overwatch, there was like it's a Blizzard first-person shooter. Like not sure about that, but you assume it's going to be okay. Whereas Doom has been in development hell since 2004 when Doom 3 came out. Like Doom, the original Doom 4 was a gritty, like modern military shooter in like a war-torn city, and everything was brown and miserable. So like Doom is incredible almost because for so long it's looked like it's going to be really bad, and then that multiplayer beta came out and it looked like it was going to be really bad, and then Bethesda didn't even send out review copies,
they didn't,
so nobody had a clue what was going to happen with that game, and then it came out and was incredible.
You say that like Overwatch, everyone expected that to be good, but that went through a pretty hard time too.
Yeah,
because Overwatch was originally Project Titan, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
It's
It's like the scraps of Titan that they've
like a lot of the art and like
Big
levels
RPG,
and stuff.
wasn't it?
Yeah, this huge RPG and it kind of fell apart.
Yeah, well, it was going to be their sequel to WoW, wasn't it? It was going to be their new MMO.
Yeah, it was going to be their next big thing, wasn't it?
And I think they took a few ideas from it for the characters, but then they really changed it. Like so a lot of people say sort of it was they've taken characters from the old one, but from what I've seen, they changed them quite a bit. Like there's the ideas there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was what's her face? The main
Tracer.
Yeah. I'm not remembering anything today. Tracer was sort of one of the main ideas from Titan, and then she got brought over, and so obviously you've got all these new characters they're bringing in now. With like the updates and stuff. Exactly. Quite different. But that went through a pretty difficult time.
Yeah, but I wouldn't feel too bad for Overwatch because it did do pretty well in other categories, which we will come to. It did pretty well for itself.
Speaking of other categories,
so yeah,
what else is going
Doom action game cracking. We're going to do best action adventure game now. So we've got Dishonored 2, Hitman, Hyper Light Drifter, Ratchet and Clank, and Uncharted 4.
I'm really annoyed that I've seen this now because in the Black Friday sales, Hyper Light Drifter was super cheap.
Yeah,
and I didn't get it.
Drifter, it looks really, really cool. I've seen some bits from it. It's a really stylish game, Hyper Light Drifter.
I looked at it and it was like, that looks pretty cool, but I can't really buy a game now. I've got so much work to do.
It's really irritating. I bought Dishonored 2 literally the day it came out, and then a week later, it's 12 quid cheeper, and I was like,
yeah.
But anyway, the winner of this action adventure category was Dishonored 2, and that is a game I have actually played. So,
what do you think of it?
I've only played the first 2 levels. However, I've probably spent about 5 hours doing that, and I definitely feel like I'm doing it wrong. However, it's so detailed that I just spend all my time looking at books and kind of teleporting out walls and kind of looking at everything that I'm not sure they really intended to have everything looked at. But basically, the game is unbelievably detailed. Yeah. And obviously, for those who don't know, Dishonored is a game where you're an assassin, basically, and you go through these big sort of sandbox levels. And it's kind of open world in the sense that you can do whatever you want in the level, and there are side quests within that mission, and you try and assassinate someone ultimately at the end of the thing. But
not necessarily.
Well, no, exactly. Or you can get rid of them by making them go and work in a coal mine or something, which is actually one of the results.
Get rid of them and inverted.
Yeah, exactly. But no, Dishonored 2, obviously the follow up to Dishonored, but the graphics are insane. The mechanics have been increased in not huge ways, but like significant enough that it feels a bit different, a bit fresh. Because you can now play as Emily, or you can play as Corvo, the assassin. So you've got a bit different play.
Do you think it's deserving of the award as the best action adventure game this year?
If you play this game, it doesn't feel like a cheap action game. Like it really is well designed. The dialogue's great. Just the design, like the characters are all. It's just a really amazing world, and it's very immersive, and it's really good stealth game. There's just a lot of different play styles you can have. It's brilliant. So I definitely think that's deserving.
What do you have to say about it's received some quite mixed feedback about it, like its play rate, its frame rate and stuff. It's on PC. It seems to be pretty choppy.
Yeah, it's
and
had some performance issues on PC.
Yeah, it's interesting that because I didn't really notice any problems.
Playing it on PS4.
Yeah, PS4 it was smooth as butter really, but then you come to expect that from PS4. No, joke aside. I thought it played pretty well. I only played the first 2 levels, so maybe when you get to like the Clockwork Mansion, which is this kind of become quite an iconic mission apparently.
Yeah, I've heard apparently that's one of the best levels in like a video game in the last 10 years.
I haven't got to it. It's next up, but essentially you go through this mansion and like it's essentially a clock. It's basically like a clock, and the floors just randomly like move.
It's
And
the
it's
one
sort
that
of
was
mechanical.
in the E3 trailer.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
Yeah.
meant to be
Okay.
amazing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely deserving. The game design's fantastic on that.
I'm waiting on Dishonored 2 for my birthday, hopefully.
Yeah, no,
That's-
definitely pick it up.
I really want it really bad, but it seems silly to buy it at this
It
point.
seems like a really well made game.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it
So
looks
that's
So
definitely what to check
yeah,
out.
those performance issues are a bit weird.
They're a
Yeah, it's
shame,
weird
'cause-
that. I mean, I really haven't noticed any of
Because
that.
they've had to put out, I think they might be on their third patch for the
Yeah.
PC release to get it working straight,
I-
which is already saying something, I think.
When I went home for the weekend that I missed the show, I bought something.
Which weekend was that again?
That was but no, I had it ready to go home and play, and I got home. My parents out for the evening. I was like, great, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna play it all evening on my own, just have the house to myself. Put it on. 10 gigabyte update, and I live in the middle of the countryside, so the internet's terrible. I couldn't play it until the next afternoon.
Oh man.
I was sitting there like crying, like holding the box up. I want to play you.
10 gig day one update.
Yeah,
is
I thought
a
that was
fat
BS.
update.
But anyway, whatever, good game. So I'll let
Yeah,
it go.
that's cool.
So that's fair enough. Right, the next category we can move on to is best RPG. I think we're pretty big RPG fans on
I
the show.
like
I think
this
it's fair to
category.
say.
I find
And there are
this
some
category
crackers, and
funny.
I quite like the winner of this.
Yeah.
So we've got Dark Souls 3,
Yeah.
Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, a game that I haven't really heard much about. It was meant to be insane.
Well,
it's-
it came out, and everyone was really, really hyped for it, and then it came out, and from what I could tell, as I'm a huge fan of all the Deus Ex games, but from what I could tell, this one was very much more of Human Revolution with some little bits added, but some other bits that weren't
Yeah.
added, and I think its hype got marred, because, okay, so the upgrade points in Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and Mankind Divided are these things called praxis kits, which
Yeah.
give you one extra point to put into your
Sure.
upgrade stuff. And for Mankind Divided, in the PlayStation Store, there was DLC where you could pay like £1 and get a new praxis kit, so you could buy your way through the entire leveling
nice.
system at the very beginning of the game.
Which is
And that
ridiculous.
that got a lot of bad press when it came out, and I think people kind of cooled on it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I would love to play it though, because I thought Human Revolution was incredible,
Revolution's
and that
brilliant,
that
yeah.
first
Yeah.
Deus Ex is
Yeah.
a mastercraft video game. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Thing is, they've released this huge open world game, and obviously a lot of work into it. And I've heard so little about it. You know,
Yeah, it's just fallen off the
it's
radar really
completely fallen off the
quickly,
radar.
isn't
And this is
Yeah.
a huge game. It's not an insignificant release. Like it's weird that.
And it got some bad press as well, because it did its mechanical apartheid
Oh, it did,
marketing
didn't it?
as well, which
Yeah.
did-
technically makes sense grammatically, but there's a lot more that
Yeah.
comes with the word apartheid than just the South African meaning of
Nah.
a separation.
Yeah.
Apartheid means more than that,
Sure.
and it's a
Yeah.
I think the Allegra
it's
is.
a
I think it's well
tough-
intended, but I think
Yeah.
actually they really drove it home in the trainer's bit.
and that,
couldn't really work out
and
their
like, there's
playing
an
one.
interesting interview with like one of the developers being like, I am a black man and I actually came up with this marketing strategy and this part of the game and I'm completely fine with it, but everyone's going around saying we're all racist and stuff. And there's that game, I think it's a shame, because it looks like it is really cool, but it just got kind of knackered on release.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
by just there was a lot of bad press around it.
No, so it's weird how they drop. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's one of the nominees.
Yeah,
Also, we've got The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Blood and Wine DLC.
which came out, was that June?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or yeah, it was June,
Yes,
wasn't it?
and we
Yeah,
have
right.
World of Warcraft Legion, which was meant to be phenomenal, and Xenoblade, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Xenoblade
Xeno-
Chronicles X on
yeah.
Wii U, and the winner was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Blood and Wine DLC.
This is
Yeah.
what me and Dylan were talking about earlier. We were
Yeah.
saying, how can a DLC
Not
beat
even
out
a
all of
full
these games?
game,
That's-
and
That
Well, to be
is-
fair, it's the DLC
Yeah.
for the Video Game Awards favourite game of last year.
yeah.
So
To be fair, it is an incredible game.
Phenomenal
I've not
game.
played this
Yeah.
DLC yet.
Phenomenal
That-
game.
that-
And I mean,
that-
finished
that
the
di-
first part.
It just
DLC
goes to
is
show
crazy.
how well made The
Yeah,
Witcher is.
nah,
Yeah.
That a
definitely.
DLC for it, which is supposedly meant to be adding 30 hours of gameplay. I think
yeah,
it is,
it's
something like that.
like if you've played that game, well, we've all sat down and played
Yeah.
it. So it's
Oh,
an
yeah.
area.
Oh.
It adds an area about the size of Skellige.
Which
Yeah.
is huge for a
That's
DLC.
Yeah.
nuts.
That's like a new game.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
And it's like an extra, and it's all unique quests and everything. None of it links back into the main story. It's literally like its own 30-hour
Yeah, that's great.
side story.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it was eligible to. It's just
Yeah.
brilliant that a
It's just
DLC
like-
was the best RPG.
It's just
Yeah,
like
it
they
is.
released a
how
DLC
good.
and it won Best RPG of the Year. It's
And,
like,
like,
what?
That should show to the listeners that haven't played Witcher 3
Witcher 3.
why
Go-
we
go
love
and
Witcher
Get off
3
your
so
bot
much.
and play that game.
Because that's
you know.
how good it is.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. But yeah, no, Blood and Wine basically break, because The Witcher and the general art style of The Witcher is kind of, I'd say like quite swampy, maybe kind of a bit of it's mountainous, but it's
Yeah.
generally quite sort of hinterlandy, you know, see what I mean?
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah. Whereas Blood and Wine, you're in this kind of Italian,
Tucson.
Mediterranean-esque environment, which is really cool, actually. And I haven't played it, and I really do want to.
It's like French wine fields. Everyone's French in Tucson. Tucson is the Witcher French area. It's great.
You're skipping through the fields with a sword and claret and whatnot. But that looks
cool.
also, won Best RPG, so nice one. Yeah, that's that.
There are so many categories here, and it's sort of.
Let's get through some easy ones. Let's do some quick ones.
We'll do multiplayer. We got Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overcooked.
Overcooked is really, really good.
Never heard of it.
Overcooked is really cool.
Never heard of it.
Do you want to explain about what it is, Mark?
Overcooked is a 4-player cooking game where you each play as a chef in a kitchen that's like a different shape, and like orders come up and it'll say something like you need a burger with cheese and lettuce, so then you have to go to get the cheese and the lettuce and the burger bits and you put it all together, but you also have to wash the plates up, and then you also have to manage cooking and make sure things don't burn. But the idea is there's always one more job than there are people playing, and it could be up to 4 players, so it requires everyone to be working together. And there are some kitchens that are split down the middle, so they can't cross, so 2 people have to be like in charge of one area and the 2 people have to be in charge of another.
So it's like
area.
Kitchen Simulator 2016.
Yeah, it's
Cooking with your
it's a
family.
really cool game. Yeah, and then there are crazy kitchens that are on things like a pirate ship that's rocking back and forth, so everything keeps sliding around as you're trying to make food and
That
stuff.
sounds really fun,
pretty
actually.
cool.
It's a really, really cool like local multiplayer game.
What console's that on?
It is on the PC and the PlayStation 4.
Yes. Excellent. Yes.
Yeah, it's a
Definitely
well
give that a
cool
go.
game. Yeah,
That's
I've been
awesome.
meaning to pick it up for
That
a while.
sounds sick. Oh,
It
definitely
came out
give
a
it
couple of months ago,
Cool.
and it looks wicked.
That doesn't sound cool. I'd like to do category. Sorry, then you have
No,
something to say?
we just didn't go through all the
multiplayer
multiplayer
games.
ones, did we? went
No,
through
we
the first
didn't.
three.
No, we'll do. So I want to do best multiplayer, best independent, then we'll do game of the year, and then we'll do most anticipated.
Cool.
But yeah, best multiplayer. We've got Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overcooked, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, and Rainbow Six Siege.
I've only played 3 of these ones, so I can only really talk about those. But
So the winner was Overwatch.
obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
I
everyone's
think that's fair
expecting
enough.
that,
I
right?
think that's fair enough.
Overwatch
Yeah.
is an incredible game.
Probably
It is.
the biggest multiplayer game of the year, really.
Yeah,
Nah, yeah,
It's- everybody. It's
definitely,
like it's everywhere, and
Yeah.
all sort of gaming communities
Mhm.
are talking about it. It's obvious that was going to win because it's a brilliantly well-made game, and it's been around for a while now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a wicked video game. We've discussed it several times in this show.
We
It's
all know
cool.
what I prefer, but I understand why it won.
I don't know. What game do you prefer?
I mean, I'm really nominees. I can't see that game.
I don't think it's been mentioned at all.
But no, Overwatch 1, that's fair enough. It's a very well designed game. And Overcooked is definitely one I hadn't heard of, and I definitely want to check out
Sounds
after
brilliant.
Mark.
Overcooked's well good.
That sounds
Overcooked
awesome.
is in the same pantheon as like Gang Beasts and Samurai Gun and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
4-player
Oh, that sounds awesome.
couch multiplayer. It's a wicked video game.
No, that's really cool, actually. That sounds, sounds great.
I'm
But
surprised Rainbow Six Siege got a mention in there because it's a fun game, but you never hear anything about
No.
it.
No, you don't,
had
do
a
you?
couple of free weekends that have been coupled with their new like Rainbow Six entry pass, which is instead of paying £40 for the full game,
Yeah,
because it's got loads of different characters and stuff in it, you pay £20. You can play the game in any maps with anybody else, but you can only be one character, and then you pay more money to get other characters. So
That's
I think it's actually, it didn't get too many players, and it's had a slowly growing fan base over the year, because every couple of months they let everyone play it for free for a weekend, and then say, and now for £20 you can just own it with a character and then keep playing after that, which is, I don't know, it seems
It's
like a
clever.
smart way to get people to buy that
definitely,
game.
Definitely.
because you do get a lot of people who do just play one character in a game like this, so it's perfect
Yeah,
for
so I
them.
think it's
Yeah.
just, I think you get a character, and then if you want to play more, and
Mhm.
I think there are some other things you don't get as well, but
Yeah.
oh, no, I think they might have even done a cheaper version than £20. I know they've been doing some really crazy, almost free to play things with Rainbow Six over the course of the year, because it came out in like March, didn't
Mhm.
it?
Yeah,
That have been slowly growing its player base. So
that's fairly. I mean, it's a fun game to play.
Yeah.
It's good that it's getting a
yeah,
growing player base, really.
I
but-
think also something that slightly detracts from the Siege is that although they didn't come out at the same time, we had The Division. There was a lot of hype for that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that was another Tom Clancy game. And I think that took away a lot of the hype for Six Siege. People were thinking about
Yeah.
The Division instead of Siege. And so I think that slightly took away from it, although it might be a good game in its own right.
Yeah, I saw how
Um,
that went though for them. So didn't even
I
get a
think
nomination,
actually,
did it?
I've just remembered, because we're actually technically a radio show. If anybody wants to tell us what their favourite multiplayer game of the year is, or any other game they've liked this year, they can send us a message on 07903 545 252. They can send us a tweet or a Facebogler or some other sort of internet message at URN 1350. And you can even go onto the URL www.urn1350.net and send us a free web message, and we will see it here in the studio, and we might even talk about it if you're nice. Yeah, we should probably mention that, otherwise no one's going to talk
good
to us.
housekeeping there. Thank you, Mark.
It's
good.
Mate. I got your back.
Oh, cheers, buddy. So now I'd like to go on to best independent game, and there's a game on here which I'm just going to scream all about because I love it so much. So the nominees were Firewatch, Hyper Light Drifter, Inside, Stardew Valley, and The Witness. And I don't know if any of you played any of those games.
I've heard of Stardew Valley.
I have
heard of it.
Yeah.
My brother's been playing that.
I have seen a lot of all of them, and they all look pretty cool. I haven't actually got hands-on with any of them, alas. There's a few on there that I really want to play.
Sure.
That are in my Steam wishlist, but I'm aware of all of them.
Such is the case with a student video game show, I guess.
Yeah,
Can't play everything, can we?
We haven't really played much because it's all a bit expensive. But the winner was Inside, which is a game about. I don't. It's quite hard to describe what it's about, but basically it's like sort of a side scroller. It's kind of 3D, and you're like a little. I think you're a boy, and you go through. I think you're trying to escape prison or something.
It goes a lot of places.
If anybody's successor to Limbo or something.
Yeah, well, if anybody's played Limbo, it's the Limbo guys. It's their next game. They've made 2 games. They've made Limbo and Inside. They're very similar. Inside appears to have a lot of the same care, craft, quality, and also uniqueness in it. And it shows as well that they've spent 9 years? When did Limbo come out?
Wow.
Limbo was like one of the first Xbox Arcade, like Summer of Arcade games, wasn't it? So that must have been 2008.
Blimey, yeah.
Yeah, so so these guys have spent a lot of time making. By all accounts, if you're into really artsy platformers, it's that.
Check it out. But the other game in here, which didn't win, but I definitely should have done it, was Firewatch, and this is a game by Campo Santo, and basically this is a game that is It's a gorgeous open world. Well, not open world, but it's a sort of big open world in inverted commas, set in kind of Yosemite-esque area, and you play a guy called Henry. I don't know what that's about. But you basically play as a ranger, and you're looking out for fires in the forest. Enter Firewatch, and you sit in your tower, and it's very isolated, and you kind of basically so you look after fires. But essentially, the game takes you on this journey of. There's this mystery going on in the park, and your only person that you talk to is a girl called Delilah, who's in another tower, 10 miles away or whatever, and you talk to each other through a walkie-talkie, and throughout the game, you talk to Delilah regularly through a walkie-talkie, and you walk around the park, and you kind of clean up, but then it all starts to go a bit wrong, but it's absolutely brilliant, and I implore you, because Mark, it's out on PS4. It's on Steam as well.
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Okay, then you're
I almost got it the other day actually, because it was down to about £7 in a Steam sale, but I didn't. I mean, it only cost like 15 quid anyway. Like I will pick it up at some point because I really want to play it.
It's made by the makers of Telltale's Walking Dead, so it's got a really good pedigree in terms of storytelling.
Yeah, they are ex-Telltale guys, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I implore all of you to go and play it. It is absolutely brilliant. And it's quite slow.
It's experiential, isn't it? It's like Gone Home in that sort of. It's not a crazy fast-paced thing. It's a lot of just wandering around and learning things.
Yeah,
isn't
the
it?
most exciting thing you do is chop a tree down.
Trees are all right.
There's not a lot of gameplay, but you walk around and you do various mundane jobs. But it's all about the dialogue. It's absolutely brilliant. I won't spoil any of it for you, but it's just phenomenal. The ending is a bit of a letdown. I finished it and I was like, okay, that was a bit annoying. It was such a good build up, and then the ending is just pretty rubbish, but whatever. But it's like 5-hour game, and I played it start to finish, basically in one sitting. It's absolutely brilliant. Go and play it. So chuffed that got a lot of nominations actually. So brilliant.
Yeah, that's cool. It seems like I think all of those games seem really good. I know The Witness is one that I've been itching to play as well, because that looks really cool. That's Jonathan Blow's next game. He's the guy who did Braid. If people remember Braid.
That's that weird time one, right?
Yeah,
where you go back and forth.
Where it turns out really your girlfriend is nuclear bombs and you're stopping World War II or something mental like that. He's the man. The man knows how to craft a puzzle game with a twist.
Yeah. No, it's crazy that game.
I don't even know that's the twist of that game. I think that's something which you can only pick it up if you read certain things at the right time and you just infer it. It's crazy. But yeah, The Witness seems really cool too. So they all seem like good games.
Yeah, definitely go check them out. As we'll end on the Game of the Year, so we've got Doom, Inside, Overwatch, Titanfall 2 and Uncharted 4. and the winner was Overwatch.
Of course, yeah.
And
Again,
we're very- yeah.
Yeah, it's been such a massive game this
Mhm.
year.
Yeah.
There's nothing
It's
really more to say
expected,
about it.
yeah. It's what's going to happen.
I think that's fair enough.
Well, there are. I think all of those are deserving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone, like I've spoken to,
Yeah.
who's played those sort of things, those things in particular, has
Mhm.
loved them.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
Inside, again, from what I've heard, Inside seems interesting, but I don't know if, from what I've seen of all these games, I don't know if Inside
Inside can be
I don't think it plays with them in the
Mm.
same way.
It's
but,
odd.
not
It's
cool.
odd that it's up there with those
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
but I guess they probably had a requirement to have like one independent game in there,
Mhm.
and that's the winner of that category. So that's probably why it's in
Yeah.
I find it odd that Overwatch. Well, not that odd. You can explain it easily, but Overwatch won Game of the Year, but not Best Action Game. So it didn't win the
Yeah,
genre.
it's
it was
weird
in.
that, isn't it? Because that is,
there.
you know,
Because it
But it
is
won
different.
multiplayer.
that's its IP,
Yeah,
right?
it did
Yeah.
win. But I guess that's the
And-
point, isn't it?
yeah.
It's a more multiplayer shooter than an
I
action.
would also say that the shooting feels good in that game, but the shooting doesn't feel as good as it does in, say, Doom. Or even in, like, I've only played the first Titanfall,
Hmm.
and I can tell you that
Shooting
game
is
feels
incredible.
better than Overwatch.
Sure.
But Overwatch is
Feels
about
better in other
it's
ways,
about
doesn't it?
Yeah.
rolling as a unit and team abilities
Sure.
and other stuff. It's the action in it is great, but
Yeah.
it's a means to an end for a different
Mhm.
experience.
Yeah, I think that's fair
Definitely.
enough. So there's a quick rundown of the game awards, and if you are interested, go and check those out. I mean, Polygon have got a nice little spread up for you with a bit of analysis.
Yeah, and there are a few other categories maybe we didn't talk about as
Exactly,
well.
there are
so,
a few
yeah.
we didn't get to, but I'm going to look it up. That's pretty great.
yeah,
But-
there was some controversial categories in there actually as well.
Mm.
If you if anybody can spot the odd category out and talk about it, then throw it up on the Facebook page. That'd be interesting.
Mark
That's
will
a
give you
little
a hug.
competition for you. I'll give you props if you can spot the odd category out and talk about why maybe there was controversy there.
But we are going to do Hall of Game, but I think we should probably go to a song. Jack.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about, obviously, the video game wars, and that's been pretty big news this week. And
I haven't
yeah,
even
we've
talked
been-
about the trailers and announcements of the Video Game Awards.
no.
I don't
yeah.
think we've even got enough time to be talking
Yeah,
about that
it's not
because
gonna happen,
there's
is
so
it?
much news going on from the Video Game Awards. But yeah, we've got another track now from Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Here is Vampire Killer.
So that was another Castlevania track, and again,
It's so good.
very enjoyable. Very enjoyable.
Yeah, like these are all crazy instrumental versions of the original chiptune tracks, and it's so good. I don't remember who the composer for Castlevania is, but man's a genius.
Yes, indeed. We are now going to come to one of my favourite features, I think, of the show, which is Hall of Game. And I missed out on video game royalty and vehicles, which I was sad to miss. But
We did get your vehicle
you
in.
said
though.
in
you did get vehicle
We did
in.
give you
You
a
did
shout.
get
Right,
vehicle in.
yeah.
Royalty, I did struggle with, I'll be honest.
Yeah, so did we. Did you see the nominees?
But this week we're going to do our favorite. We're not going to do video game characters. We're going to do our favorite video game controllers ever.
I think it's pretty good one. It's had us all thinking,
it's,
isn't
it's,
it?
it's a very,
Yeah.
very
And we've-
niche topic. Yeah.
We've got some crackers. So actually, just going around. I think we're going to start with you, Jack. What have you got for us?
Well-
yeah, Jack, you start.
You start.
The first one of the, I wouldn't say it's a controller that means anything to me, but it's one of the controllers that is sort of bizarre and out of the way. It's the bongo drums from Donkey Konga, which for those of you that don't know what
they were
Donkey
so
Konga was, it was a game released on the GameCube where it's essentially a Guitar Hero-esque, but with
It's a rhythm
bongo
game,
drums.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you have to use the Donkey Kongos.
Yeah, where you have to use the Donkey Konga drum. So the left drum is the yellow. I think it's a yellow icon on the screen, and the right drum is the red icon on the screen. If sometimes it will want you to press them both together, so that's the pink icon, and sometimes even it's got a built-in mic, so you can clap as well. Which I just think is incredible. They released 2 games for it, Donkey Konga 1 and 2. And
Excellent.
They were really
yeah,
good games.
And the thing
They
that
were
I loved
awesome
about it as
video
well
games.
is
They were so good.
the thing that I loved about it is in some games you try and sit down maybe and try and play a game that wasn't Donkey Konga using that controller, and it was just impossible, which I just found funny. You know, it was actually a built-in controller that you could use.
Yeah,
I
it
think
worked
was-
for other games,
yeah,
didn't
it
it?
definitely
Yeah.
worked for other games, but I don't know I don't quite understand how it worked with other games because it was only 2 buttons and I don't think there was any directional pad on it, so you couldn't really move forward and backwards. But yeah, I mean, it was something from my childhood. I remember sitting down playing that, and my hands would hurt afterwards because I was hitting it, and then I discovered that after a time you didn't really even need to hit it that hard. You could just sort of tap it and it would still be alright. And
He's just wailing on
I
it.
do
yeah,
I do love the image of Jack's biting away. And it's like,
but yeah, I mean, like I say, it's not really a unique, well, it is a unique controller, but it's not really something out of the ordinary. It's something from my childhood, and I love it. And
It's
yeah,
a wicked controller.
it is
for
really,
a
really
cool
cool.
video.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
was always
can-
jealous of my friends who had that.
Did you ever play? So there was a Wii game that was like a spiritual successor to Donkey Konga, which I'm trying to remember what it was called. It had some insane Japanese name, but what it was, the game came with a sheet of cardboard that was creased, and you folded the cardboard into a box, and then you put the Wiimote in the box, and then you'd tap on the box the rhythm,
What?
and they would move the controller, and it would pick up the vibrations. And so it was a rhythm game where the controller was just a cardboard box, but like a branded one. I have to remember what
Never
it's
heard of
called.
that,
It was
but
some insane Japanese Wii
it does
game that
sound
came
cool.
out that was. Yeah, it was
Does
the
sound cool,
same
yeah.
vein as that, but way less cool because it didn't come with congas
But yeah, that's
or bongos.
the
Congas?
controller
Well,
that I'm putting in
bongo drums you can certainly
Conga
have.
drums.
the Hall again. Yeah.
Mark, what have you got for us?
Oh, so I agonised about this, and I was trying to think of interesting ones or strange ones, and I was trying to think of ones I loved and controllers that have had an impact on me.
Spiritually.
Yeah, everything impacts me spiritually, man. I'm a very sensitive person. I decided on the mouse and keyboard as my favourite video game control.
It's a reasonable one.
Yeah.
I think it might not be the most interesting or unique, but a lot of my formative video game experiences were at a mouse and keyboard. A lot of the first games I played, and a lot of the games I played the most for a very, very long time were RTSs on the PC. They were action games on the PC.
Yeah.
They were first-person shooters on the PC. It's every when it comes down to it, it always comes back to that. Like now, I'm in a position unlike where I used to be, where I don't have to play, say, like GTA 3 on the PC with a mouse and keyboard. So I don't. It's not the perfect control scheme, but there are some things that a mouse and keyboard does better than everything else.
FPS.
Yeah, first-person shooters and RTSs, man, and Red Alert 2 and Half-Life 2 are just. They're the only games I need, and
So-
those games take a mouse and keyboard.
Mouse keyboards at your pen and paper, Mark.
Yeah, I'm old school.
Fair play. You can have that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan, what have you got?
Okay, so I've gone for one that, in a similar vein, one that really I had growing up. It was my controller as a kid. And it is the Mad Catz MCV 54526 Xbox original controller.
Do you want to just
This is its
explain?
second appearance on the
non-specific.
show, isn't it?
I think I've mentioned it before.
This is that controller's second appearance on the show.
Not by code, but I've spoken about it before. And it was I loved it because the Xbox original, as we've said before, came with the Duke, the ridiculously hefty controller. One of our friends says he loves it because he had big hands as a kid. But mine, I got cramps playing that game with that controller. So this Mad Catz controller was tiny and perfect. It was a bit too small after I hit about 11, so I had it for like a year or whatever. But it was great. I love that controller, and that's always what I think of as a controller when I think back to them, even though I've not used it in years. I just love it.
Left its mark on you, did it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
and
fair.
it had that cool translucent sort of boxing that clearly, as I've expressed
Yeah.
today, I already quite like
You're a
in
big
gaming.
fan of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
apparently.
can see the insides of things. Sounds a
What?
bit weird.
Oh, yeah, nice.
We're going to get you an X-ray machine.
Yeah.
Crack
Watch
on,
out
mate.
for Dylan.
Should have done
Um,
medical physics.
Henry, what's your favourite video game controller?
Yeah, so my one is going to be, and this is the one I've had the most fun with, is going to have to be the Rock Band Stratocaster. Obviously Rock Band, the classic game where you have drum kit, you got your guitar, and you got your microphone. And my brother and I used to sit there and have some proper jamming sessions, and I bloody love the Stratocaster. It's awesome.
Is that the one that had the touch buttons further up the neck, so you could do
Oh,
like
that was
crazy
a-
tapping stuff?
I think a
That
later
was
one
a
had it.
later model.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not familiar with that one,
sorry,
I'm afraid.
sorry. That was my bad.
But you had the proper keys at the top, and then you had your solo keys at the bottom. These little tiny keys with your little fingers.
It was a similar thing.
It
but
still had the
they-
solo
yeah.
keys.
Yeah.
'Cause
It
It
changed.
had
to
solo
the-
keys.
there
just weren't
there
touched.
was one that had touch buttons for like doing hammering
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
wasn't there?
yeah, yeah.
I didn't imagine that. Okay, cool. I
but
thought
no,
maybe I
um,
got actual guitars confused with Rock Band. For a second.
But I loved it. Like, it was so intuitive, and it was so it was really responsive. And then when I played Guitar Hero, and I'm sorry, I really don't like Guitar Hero for reasons that will become clear right now. When you play Guitar Hero, there's so much lag between, and not because the way when you press the key and when you actually play it, there's so much difference in time. There's a lapse. In Rock Band, it's bang straight away. It's completely succinct. So Guitar Hero, absolute rubbish. Sorry.
Well,
I mean, Guitar Hero lasted a lot
and
longer
that
than
is
Rock
being
Band.
objective.
well,
Nah, the
A few games
Stratocaster.
well, I mean,
It came back as well.
they both had their resurgence.
Yeah.
Guitar is just a bit older, isn't
Did
it?
Rock Band actually have a resurgence?
Yeah, well, Rock Band
Yeah,
4
Rock Band
came
4.
back
In fact,
after like 5 years
it's
of there
on
not being a
PS4
Rock Band
actually.
game. Yeah.
We should get a band together, guys.
Because Rock Band 3 was
definitely
like
have a URN.
2011,
We should definitely
wasn't it?
have one. We have like a Radio 1 live lounge type thing.
That'd be awesome. Let's do it.
With Jack on the bongos. But nah, absolutely love it. I've had so much fun with it.
I think also before we move on, Dylan's got an honourable mention that he'd like to.
Oh, yeah.
induct into
yeah.
a game that we were talking about outside before
Oh,
we
yeah,
came on
this
air.
blew my freaking mind.
I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this. But as a kid, maybe you didn't have a console. Maybe you couldn't play games on your computer. But a lot of people must have played the games on the Skybox. So I want to say the Sky remote control.
Yeah.
Because games
Yeah,
like
the Sky
Beehive
TV
Bedlam
was-
Beehive Bedlam, man. That's such a
It was
throwback.
like everybody who's had a Skybox or been near
Yeah.
a Skybox
I
has
remember,
played
like-
those games.
Yeah, it must have been when
I
I was like,
literally can't
I don't know,
cope with that.
10 years old. Every year we'd go to my granddad's house for Christmas, and I remember just being bored, and then I would sit down and play
playing those
that
awful,
game, just
awful
watching
games.
everyone looking at me
was so
saying, "What are you
terrible."
doing?" I'm just sat there playing Beehive Bedlam and all these other games. that they
Completely
play, which
ruining those
sounds like a-
controllers
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
They took a beating,
It's
so
so
they
good.
deserve
Yeah, you rub all the paint off them really quickly,
Yeah.
don't you? It's like,
My God.
swear down, I haven't thought about Beehive Bedlam in at least 10 years.
it was, as terrible as it was, it was great
The
fun.
Sky remote's
Yeah.
gonna. I do actually have a very, very quick honourable mention. Not that but I saw a
We're all
video.
just picking two candidates. This is terrible.
Now I'm not putting this forward because I've never done it myself. But I watched a video of a guy who got to level 100 in WoW on World of Warcraft using a dance mat.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It was
Heroic.
crazy.
Wow.
Crazy that he managed that. But,
Dance Warcraft.
So I will mention that. But I think to round off the show, there is one last category in the awards that we didn't get to, which I think would be a nice way to end it, which is the most anticipated game. So on here we've got God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect Andromeda, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay, so out of
Okay.
those, who's excited for what the most?
I'm gonna have to say Red Dead purely because I've not played Mass Effect, so I can't really be excited for that. I guess.
Yeah.
But
And
Red
I
Dead
guess
I love.
Horizon you don't get to play.
Horizon I
Yeah.
can't play.
I mean,
yeah.
it looks like a cool game. Like Horizon
God of
Zero
War I
Dawn
can't play.
looks cool.
A
Yeah,
lot
God
of
of War.
PlayStation
Yeah.
stuff going on.
Yeah,
So,
apologies, Dylan.
No, but Red Dead also.
Yeah.
Revolution is Redemption even
Yeah.
is brilliant. So
Mm.
I'm hoping the next one's good.
I'm hyped for Mass Effect, real bad. I love
Yeah.
those games, and I want
Have
that in my face.
Have you seen? Have you seen the new trailer?
Yeah. It looks,
I've had it open
looks
in my
amazing.
browser for
Oh.
like a day now, and haven't actually gone
Go
to watching
check
it
it
yet.
out. Honestly, there are new mechanics in there which look pretty
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah, it sounds. I want that. I want that game.
I saw a thing earlier when it was like people talking about it, and they were saying it's essentially what No Man's Sky was really aiming for.
Should have
But
been.
obviously on a lesser scale, but the stuff you can do in it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's more detailed.
Damn, I want that
I
game.
think you're creeping people out.
But no,
What are you hyped
that's great. What am I hyped for? I'm gonna say Horizon Zero Dawn because that
Yeah.
comes out pretty soon, and
Yeah, when does that come out?
February.
Oh wow, that's soon. Good gosh.
It was meant to be
Um,
out already. It got delayed, didn't it?
I don't
Fair
remember.
enough.
I don't want to say I have a crush on the protagonist, but it looks pretty cool. No, that game looks awesome.
It does look
Robot
really cool.
dinosaurs, open world, burn arrows.
You can
Need I
ride
say
the
more?
robot moose.
Exactly.
How cool is that?
That's awesome.
What did you just say to me? Take that back.
No, that is epic. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's been a pretty
Jack,
good.
what are you hyped for? I want to know. I need to know what you people are hyped for.
Oh well, I mean, there's a few games coming out. Oh, like I said, Horizon Zero Dawn. It looks amazing. Unfortunately, like Dylan, I won't be able to play that until such time that I get a PS4,
Until
which
you
I
get
can't see
a
happening anytime
cracking
soon.
console.
They're pretty good. They're all
But yeah, I
right.
mean, there's quite a few games coming out next year that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I mean,
Out of those four, you had to pick one. Is it Red Dead?
Red Dead is
Revolve the head pick.
Red Dead is something that I'm looking forward to. I'm not the biggest fan of the Mass Effect series. I've played Mass Effect 3.
That's fair.
I like Mass Effect. I like the direction that they're going with it, and I also like the decision making that happens in it, and how your decisions will affect your sort of character relations with the other species. I love that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'd like to say Red Dead and Mass Effect are definitely two games that I'm looking forward to coming out.
Fair play.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Who won? Henry,
The winner
tell
was. I think the winner was. God, I've completely forgotten who the winner was.
Absolutely
The
shocking.
winner was The Legend of Zelda, which I completely forgot to mention.
What? You didn't even read that out?
Oh, what?
That would be my
I'm
top
leaving.
choice.
No, this show's over. Jack, put on a song. We're going.
Yeah, thank you.
This is terrible.
I was gesturing to you to remember.
Yeah, I know, you
were
can't-
you
I
were
was like,
shaking your
what's he
head,
on
and I was
about?
like, come on, Zelda's there, man. Zelda, it looks so cool. I'm really hyped for
I
that
think
game.
Zelda's everybody's most anticipated game, right?
Yeah, I want to play that
Yeah.
game. That game looks awesome.
I want that
My
more than anything
bad. This has been a cracking show, guys. We have done a good roundup of the Game Awards. We've had some fun. Slightly annoyed everyone at the end, but whatever. I think we fall out next week.
We got some. Hopefully, this week we might get some stuff up on YouTube as well. That's not just this radio show.
that'd be
possibly,
cool.
we're gonna try. I think I'd like to try.
Us doing a live lounge session.
We'll get live lounge up there. Several different camera angles. Cut it all together. It's gonna be great.
Even on the bongos.